busy doing post analysis, but it's part of the job. I have to do it. So yeah, let's get right into it. So this silver trade, you could see silver has been bullish for a very long time, but for some reason it got to this price here, and then there was aggressive sell reaction coming in. Some buyers tried to buy, and then the sell continued all the way to this price point here. I'm reading this from the daily time frame, and since then we could tell that from this price here, this is where they really pushed to make the lower low at this price here. So from there, buyers also reacted, almost giving these sales like a whole 80-90% retracement. The sellers refused to sell from here. Buyers step on it again, and then yeah, sellers pushed back again. So from here, buyers accepted this price here and they started buying all the way up. Now, when they got up to here, there was a small range in here, and then these buyers from this price point here pushed price up, and immediately they pushed price up to take these guys out. They reacted and came right back down. Now, this price here that the buyers accepted to go up is of very good interest to us because that is the price that we assume the buyers like so much that they bought enough to make a higher high or to break their previous buying record. So if they have to require a much lower discount than that previous buying area, then there is something wrong. Why would they require a much lower discount? Much lower discount than here for them to continue the buying. That tells us one thing, that maybe the buyers here are no longer interested in the buying. So maybe the sales for now are going to take over. So with that bias and with that understanding, I watch on the daily to see what the buyers here are going to react from there. And this is all that they were able to do. Nothing much to read on the daily time frame. I went to one time frame lower, which is the 4 hours, to see what I could find from there. Oh, sorry, guys, too big. Yeah, we are talking about this trade, not this one. But let me just use 2 minutes and then just talk about this so that at least they are for study. So yeah, so when this price started pulling back inside from this price point all the way up to here, it was just solid green candles. There was not much for me to be able to read to understand what was going on. So let me just cut this area here. So I went to one time frame lower, which is the 1 hour here. And then on the 1 hour, this is what I could find. Okay. Here, sorry, yeah. I could see that buyers started coming in from here. They requested discount. They still buy, barely beating their last record, and they required a deeper discount. And then when they were offered that deeper discount, they buy aggressively to make what? A higher high from this price point here. Now, when they got to this price point here, they require this much discount, and then they still kept on buying. Sellers did not give much discount, and these guys kept on buying and buying and made a higher high from here. Okay, so that same price point around this price areas here that they accepted last to make this higher high movement here is interesting to us, is of interest to us, because if they really like this price enough for them to buy so much to break this their previous record, then that means that it is interesting. So I was looking at that price point there, and I went to one time frame lower, which is the 15 minutes. So on the 15 minutes, their story too is different. This is their last point. Prices came. They accepted this price, pushed all the way here, came in, pushed again, and then slap in the face back down. So what happened at this price here that they made a higher high from? Why are they now requesting a much lower price? And when they were giving that lower price, this was all their reaction as at that time. So I was like, something is cooking. The daily wants to buy, sorry, the daily wants to sell, 4 hours wants to sell. Then 1 hour is not really fully ready for the selling, but the 15 minutes is beginning to show me signs of sales. Okay, let me see what happened here because it was just two green candles. I went to the 5 minutes, and on there, what I saw was that buy pushed, sales give 80-90% retracement. They pushed again, then the buyers from here that made a higher high from here required a whole deep discount back to that same price point again for them to react to the buying again. And immediately they reacted, they still requested for discount again. And when they were giving this discounted price here, nothing happened. It was like moving sideways. So right when I saw this candle break to go, I just joined in here and then targeted 1:2. And this is how I took this trade. So let's get back to the one that we are really doing. So let's leave and then sorry. Yep. This is it. Let's go back to the one now. So on the one yep. Let's come back again. Here, this is the last price here. So when we took this trade, it went all the way to break this last buyer here. So when it broke that last buyer, the buys here did not react very much, and then prices kept on going down. So when prices kept on going down from this price point, buyers came in aggressively. Now, this is the price they accepted to make a higher high. They have been given this price here. They couldn't match their previous record. And now they have been given a much deeper price here. We have to wait for how they are going to react. But judging from the volume here, the volume looks very strong. So I went to the lower time frame, 15 minutes, to check what volume was that and who is the volume for. If I look at that volume, you could see that it wasn't for the buyers, it was actually for the sales. Look at that. So there was more push coming in here to give lower discounts. And judging from the buyers, look at that, the buyers' volume, there was not much of a volume, although it was an increment in the, as compared to the previous or the side volume, there was an increase. So I knew that, okay, this pullback is going to take a while. So fast forward back to our 1 hour time frame. Now here, I know that this sell that came down is aggressive. So let's see what they are going to do. They tried and tried and tried and tried when they come around this price point here. Now, the reason why I took it here is, again, inside this buy going up here, you get one price there. That was the last price. Look at that here. Buy, push, buy, higher high, came back here, couldn't go, came, pushed, and made a higher high. Look at it. So it is this price point here that is of so much interest because it is the last price that they made a higher high from, meaning that it is the last price that the buyers were so interested that they bought more to make a higher high from or to break their previous record from. So if these prices are coming, it's most likely coming to revisit that price. And if we extend it there, look at that. Exactly to the T, they came, pick our trade up, and then from there, begin to drop from there. So this is the post analysis for the silver trade that we took, and this was going through my mind for taking this silver trade. And I'm still looking for the sell side of things with this silver overall, because on the 4 hours, oh come on, the 4 hours, I still see these sales that came down here with huge volume, whilst my buys are having minute or tiny volume. And this last push here, they have been giving 50, couldn't go now. Definitely they are going to come lower. And then when they react and nothing happens, that is when we expect a lower low. And that would be for next week. So you have had a post analysis and a probable next week trade analysis in this trade. So I'm still waiting for any comments or any questions that you guys might not understand. Okay. Bye for now.